Mature content warning. This computer software contains content that may be unsuitable for some players, including depictions of violence, sexual conduct, abuse, rape, mental illness, murder, discriminatory language, and suicide. This work does not in any way endorse or affirm criminal acts or violations of human rights. By continuing beyond this point, the user agrees he or she or they acknowledges the above does not find such content described above offensive nor obscene and is requesting this content as in good mental health.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel! If you're new here, my name is Korvan. I usually stream on Twitch, but today we are playing Hashihime of the Old Book Town, continuing the old series that we all been waiting about. I think we're up to episode 13 now, and I think there will be like around 30 episodes, so yeah, we're not even halfway there yet, Boros. So yeah, let's wait. Okay, skip if you want, but a little bit disclaimer that I will be stopping God of War Ragnarok stream, just due to reasons that I think mentally it's more healthy for me if I just play it on my free time. So yeah. Anyways, in addition to that, I think I'll be stop streaming for a while. I'll be finishing Vampire, but I think that's about it. I'm not gonna play any new games or anything. Because I don't know, I'm just not been enjoying streaming lately, and I feel like I'm being forced to stream. No one's forcing me, I'm forcing myself, but it feels like that. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna stop. Don't worry though, there will still be more recorded videos because I do enjoy making recorded videos. But yeah, I think even recorded videos, I think it will all be more like this type of stories where we sit, read, react, more like visual novels, or at least game with that is more story based than action based, because I enjoy editing them more. And I don't know, if the story is fun like this one, I get very engrossed in it. So yeah. Anyway, too much trembling. Let's start in the game, shall we? I think we left off with waiting for Minakami at the bridge with the Hakase's servant. Minakami came before 2 o'clock. He stood at the corner of Suido Bridge, lowered his head, and seemed to be staring at his toes. I sat in the passenger seat with my eyes fixed on him. A red umbrella. A faded, slightly dirty, marsh-colored uniform. Even Sazan-san couldn't miss him. Wearing black cloth, she stood right next to Minakami. She then drew closer to him and said hello. Oh, isn't he cute? Oh my. He got thinner though. I don't remember him being that thin, but okay. Minakami was speechless. Sazan-san grabbed him by the head and pulled him closer, then gave him a clean blow to the pit of his stomach with her knee. Wow. His red umbrella fell into Kanda Bridge. Minakami collapsed without a sound. She tied him up with a rope and wrapped him in the sheet that was around her own body. Sorry if you can hear that. Noxus cat just opened the door. Okay. Minakami collapsed without a sound. She tied him up with a rope and wrapped him in the sheet that was around her own body. She hurriedly turned and opened the door to the back seat. Saomori-sama!
玉森です。
さあ、行きましょう。池田様のご邸宅へ。
Man, she is excited. Minakami didn't even twitch.
何を弾いてる玉森くん。
弾いてなんか。
罪悪感など君には似合わんぞ。
Anyway, I was glad the plan I had to explain to her who knows how many times had gone so smoothly in one try. Sazan-san was ecstatic, probably because she was happy that the plan had been executed perfectly, successfully, but you know, I think perfectly is more suited here. I crossed my arms and legs and closed my eyes tighter and tighter. The lights were on at Ikada Manor when we arrived. I thought it would take some time to wake Kawase up, but it looked like I didn't have to worry about that. The iron gate was unlocked. A sleepy Kawase showed up once I pushed my way through the front door on my own.
うわ、本当に来た。
本当に来た。
お初にお目にかかります瀬川様。
瀬川様。
なんで俺の。
適当なのだ。彼女は人の名前を反転して読む癖がある。
私氷川家女中サザンと申します。
氷川。
Kawase repeated. Oh my god. Honestly, the jump scare in this game is not from the jump scare right now is not the game, but my Noctis cat that keeps trying to open the door. It's not my cat. My cat's with me here. You know, my little Binks. Anyway, calm. Kawase repeated. That was when Minakami began to stir over Sazan-san's shoulder. God, that is a tongue twister.
んね
Sazan-san threw him to the ground with a perfect shoulder throw. Minakami went quiet again.
なんなのこれ。
にゃ。
さあこのお方をどこに運びますの？
Kawase was dumbfounded for a moment. After giving me a cold glare, he began to walk off without a word. That must have meant follow me. There were a lot of empty rooms in Ikeda Manor. I thought we were going to a guest room on the second floor, but Kawase stood in front of a door under the staircase.
上じゃないのか？
Without any hesitation, Kawase picked up one key from the heavy row of 20. A cold wind flowed out from the basement when he opened the door. Kawase picked up the lamp by his feet and turned around only once to smile. He's so creepy. Oh wow.
それにしてもこんなところもあったのか。
Mina, look at his feet hanging.
池田さんは静かな場所が好きなんだ。
They say Tokyoites love their basements, but if there was ever a fire, they have nowhere to run.
結局人間一人が一番好きってことさ。
Kawase muttered as he quickened his pace.
お待ちなさって。そう急がれると足元が。
Oh no. Don't drop Minakami. Look at him. Oh my god, he's so tiny though. Like, what the hell?
変わりましょうか、サザンさん。
いいえこの方とても明るいわ。
Indeed.
にゃ。
Kawase glared at me again. Was he really that upset I invite someone else to tag along? I could understand that, but I just played off with a wry smile. Suddenly, a new door appeared. I took the lamp from Kawase and let him unlock the door.
厳重だな。
Couldn't he at least respond? Kawase noisily opened the door, his agitation showing in his hands. He went into the darkness alone and turned on a large lamp. Eh? This looks very much like the basement. The dark white one, the monster one. It was a study. It was crammed with medical books even Minakami had probably never seen before. Among them were personal photo albums and keepsakes. I reached out for one.
触るなよ。
触るなよ。
なんだ、別にお前のものでもないだろう。わかったわかった。
この方はどちらへ？
じゃあ、この椅子にでも。
床に置いて。
床って。
Sazan-san obeyed the master of their house. She laid Minakami down gently and fixed his disheveled hair in poetry.
これ本当に生きてるの？
He is.
案ずるな。
I borrowed the belt of his hakama and tied it over his eyes. Looking down at Minakami like that gave me an immense sense of accomplishment.
それでは私はこれで。
今日はどうもお世話になりました。
いえいえ今後ともお坊ちゃまをよろしくお願いいたします。川野様もまた会う日まで。
川野？
博士にもよろしくと。
Sazan-san smiled widely in response. After seeing her off and closing the door, Kawase swept away the water on the floor with his foot in annoyance.
倉庫にモップがあるから朝になったらちゃんと掃除して。いいか水夫の甲板掃除よりも丁寧にやれよ。
Ego. That is so sexy. He's so sexy. Again, one of the best voice actors in the game.
もちろんだ。
Not by like acting wise. I would say they're all really good, but like by voice wise, he's one of my favorites. Next to the lady of, you know, Naoshi's mother. What's her name? I don't remember.
成功したようで何よりだけど、それで創作意欲は湧いた？
え？
君が現実的な恐怖を味わいたいって言うから、水上を監禁したんだろ？
Right, I forgot.
俺はもう寝るから。
ちなみに私の寝床は
あの水上と一緒に寝てよ。
部屋なんていくらでもあるだろう。
貸してやってるのに。なんなのその口調。
Because his mood turned foul at night. I pouted and swallowed down my objections.
それじゃあおやすみ。また朝、俺も君と水上のところに行くから。
おやすみ。
ああ、待ってるぞ。
恐怖でもだえる水上か。面白そうだな。
He headed to his room on the second floor, making sure I heard his footsteps.
性ある男だな。
君が言えた口かい。でも彼が起きていてくれて助かったな。
あんな楽しそうな顔せ、久しぶりですよ。
I just noticed the frog, if you see, he got those like lines that shows that he's shivering.
いい笑顔でしたね。
I stood alone in front of the door that led to the basement. There was a staircase this time, but I still hesitated.
何を躊躇している？
なんだか地下が怖いもののように思えてしまって。
水上くんを一人残しているのによくもそんなことが言えるね。
Harikusan were quick to side with Nanakami. I remember that my hallucination were with me. I decided to go down in the basement. I tried to be as quiet as possible with my footsteps, but even so, the opening and closing of the door would give me away. Sure enough, Inakami began to stir when I opened the door.
あなたが手紙の主ですか？
I sat on a sofa in front of me and crossed my legs.
答えてください。ここは。それに何のつもりで俺を。
This is to wake you up.
助けてください。
Tasukete kudasai. Ooh.
一日だけ自由にしてください。必ず明日の夕方には戻りますから。
Because he cannot wait for the manuscript from what's the author's name? The one who made Dogramakura. I don't remember the author's name right now, but yeah, probably that. But again, if we let you out, you will not come back. Who will come back in this scenario?
その後は好きにしてくださって構いません。
What was happening tomorrow? The eeriest thing about this was how calm Minakami was. If it were me, I'll have no shame with crying, screaming, and begging for my life. This must have been the mindset of someone prepared to kill himself. I didn't know his true motives. It felt like I was the phantom in the basement. Except how I felt about kidnapping people differed from the phantom I wrote about. It was to normalize Minakami's abnormal state of mind. The monster only kidnapped people to confirm his knowledge to the knowledge of others by asking of their opinions. The rest of the phantom in basement had been in my head from the very beginning, the unexpected twist, the touching ending too. At the same time, what I thought about as I wrote was Minakami's profile when he read it. My heart! He'll probably smile. He'll probably read between the lines. That was all I thought about as I wrote.
バカらしくなってきました。こうして水上をさらったこともそうですが、私が水上に原稿を見せていたことです。
玉森さん。
こいつは私のこと何とも思ってないのに。
Tamamori really liked Minakami. My heart.
私ばかり。
Being conceited. Minakami would smile all the time, so I'm misunderstood.
私を憐れんで楽しんでいたんだろうな。川瀬みたいに、こいつも私を見下して矜持を保っていたのだ。
Poor Tamamori. I mean, not Minami. Well, Minamina's also pretty in sad state, but God, I don't know. You know what? Hakase was right, and Hanaza was right. You should just befriend them and get rid of this toxic relationship you have with Minagami and Kawase. Come on.
なかなかすさんできたな、玉森くん。
This was jealousy. It was going back and forth between being jealous of Kyusaku, that was the author's name, and being angry at Minagami.
ひどいですよね。玉森さんはいつだって真剣だったのに、飽き飽きしていたなんて、あんなひどい言い方。人をバカにして何が楽しいんでしょう。
君も川瀬くんと同じだ、玉森くん。水上くんを生かす理由は自分のためだけでしかない。君はただ、帝大生であり聡明な水上くんを見下していきたいだけだ。
そりゃ悪いことですか。
We're all selfish.
玉森さん。
それは本当の友情とは言わん。
I know, right? If you want a two friend, we have Hakase and Hanazawa. Come on.
じゃあ本当の友情とは何なのですか。
それは直志くんが教えてくれたはずだ。
Oshikun had hugged Koto-kun. He had kissed Kudo-kun and Toba-kun's foreheads. He had laughed it off as a joke. They were delighted, like chirping birds. Kudo-kun and Toba-kun broke into ikada manner for Kato-kun. They directed their anger towards me on behalf of Kato-kun.
君は水上くんを抱きしめられるか。
I mean, I surely could.
川瀬くんと花沢くんの額に口づけられるか。
I mean...
それはちょっと。
冗談だと笑って許されるか。
I think Hanazawa would.
玉森くん、君は同じことを水上くんらにされたらどうする？
Blushed very hardly.
私は
Be happy. But if I did it, they would never forgive me.
君は孤独だ。君が今泣いているのはそれに気がついてしまったからだろう。
I wasn't jealous of Kyusaku. I wasn't angry at Minakami either. It was my own loneliness. My cheeks were wet.
でも僕たちがいますよ。僕たちはずっと玉森さんのおそばにいます。ずっとですよ。ほら、ギュッとしてください。ひんやりして気持ちいいですよ。
カエル男、もう酷なことを言うな。玉森くん、孤独を受け入れなさい。さすればそれがきっと君を強くしてくれる。
黙ってください。少し眠りたい。
It wasn't an escape. I simply wanted to sleep. Story of the past. Once I had closed my eyes, I jumped into a scene from the countryside. The wind coming from Lake Inawashiro swept over the wide and ruler water surface. Once you crossed Yuroko Bridge, there was a small mountain ahead. On top it was a majestic shrine. I wasn't sure I can't read, I'm sorry. I wasn't sure who or what was worshipped there, but once a month my grandmother and I would go there hand in hand. I was told to close my eyes, but I couldn't help being curious about the shrine's rafters. There was a woman clinging to the rafters and staring down at us. When I told my grandmother about it, she seemed unable to see her. Apparently, that was the first hallucination that I ever seen. Ever since then, I've seen all sort of visions. For instance, if I were to shout, "Become night," the scenery will change into night, and I'll see vast amounts of twinkling stars I had never seen before. Only my grandmother believed my tales. And I would say that's magical. I wish I have that skill. But I would cry and scream about how no one believed me, how it was all so pointless, and I was eventually taken to the hospital. I was diagnosed with a fever and was admitted to the hospital for a few days. The one I shared a room with was Kawase. Oh, this is where we met Kawase. I thought his face was dirty. When I asked if there was a mud smudge on it, he said he had been punched. At first, I thought the one combing his hair, Hanazawa, was his older brother, but he seemed to be the doctor's son. I was impressed by how he would only comb Kawase's hair, never giving me a single glance. And then there was Minakami in the bed right in front of me, with his legs hoisted up. We all met at the hospital. Oh, that's so cute, though. He was the son of a famous local brewer. He climbed up on top of a barrel and fell down the stairs and broken his leg. He would read complicated books. When I asked him what he was reading, he told me it was Kyoka Izumi's The Poor People's Club. He was the only one who would smile at me. That was so long ago. When I opened my eyes slightly, the same scene from before was there. The light of the lamp was warm like a fireplace. When I followed that light and looked at Minami, he was snoring quietly. As usual, his eyes were too squinty for me to tell if he was asleep or awake. Minakami's blindfold was nestled close to him. I was like, is there a blindfold? Bro, so Minakami... No, it's Tamamori. Minakami's blindfold was nestled close to him. I got up quickly and wrapped it around his head. I woke enough. The more I thought, hurry up and tie it, the more my hand slipped.
Tamamori, やめてくれ。もうお前が犯人だって分かってる。
God, this is so dumb. I love it. I immediately relaxed. Surprisingly, Minakami burst out laughing when I sank to the floor.
おはよう、玉森。靴紐といい、縄といい。お前は本当に縛るのが下手だな。起きたら自然にほどけてたよ。
Cute.
まさかお前が助けてくれたのかと思ったけど、やっぱりそうじゃなさそうだな。
いいからもう一度目隠しされておけ。
だからもう無意味だろ。
Is he gonna get mad? That was true. Sat back in my chair as my mind went completely blank. I then crossed my legs with a faint composure.
この銅の縄はお前が縛ったものじゃないな。本当にしっかりしている。
何よりだ。
ほどいてくれ。苦しくてかなわない。なあ、玉森。何がしたいんだ。待ってくれ。
Unable to bear looking at that pained smile, I left the room. The morning light felt brighter than usual when I came out of the basement. It was raining today like always, but I was thankful it was bright at least. I happened to bump Kawase right at that moment. The elegant fragrance of the coffee in his hand wafted upward.
おはよう。もう7時だよ。
ああ、朝から喫煙か。
朝の一本は特別なんだ。吸ってると精神が統一されるような気がするんだよね。前奏が瞑想に光沢みたいな感じでさ。
Sure. Kawase said as he headed to the living room. I went after him.
みなかみもそろそろ起きてるんじゃない？
起きた。そしてバレた。
それは随分とまた早い。もう計画はおしまいか。
バレたからといってあいつの監禁はやめる気はない。
どうして？大泉の奥さんにも種明かししないと捜索願いを出されるよ。
奥さんには私が言う。あいつは今田舎に帰ってるとな。
うまくやってよ。
もちろんだとも。
で、朝食はどうするの？いるの？
頼む、みなかみの分も。これだっけ？
There was some dried fish stuffed into a misshapen onigiri. But it wasn't just him being mean. I was surprised when he was eating the same thing.
悪い。さっさとみなかみのところにも持っていきなよ。
しかしこれは。
もういいよ。俺がついでに持っていく。
Once he snatched the plate away from me, he quickly exited the living room.
いやあ、おはようみなかみ。
川瀬、これは一体何なんだ？説明してくれ。
Everybody's just confused. I love it.
まあまずは腹でも満たして落ち着いて。
Kawase placed a plate in front of Minakami.
なんだこれ。俺は畜生以下の扱いか。
Lovely animal.
君も失礼なやつだな。せっかく俺が握ってやったってのに。
So we found one thing he's not good at.
ほら、玉森くんが食わせてあげなよ。
はい、わかった。
やめてくれ玉森。そもそも腹が減ってないんだ。
じゃあ私がいただこう。
Either way, it was rice and dried fish. It didn't matter how it looked as long as it was tasty.
頼む川瀬。今日だけはどうしても。
悪いけど、俺たちが君に求めてるのはそういう態度なんだ。
そういう態度。人が困ってる姿をか。
Minakami's so pissed. I love it.
やらなきゃいけないことがある。なのにやれない。これは何なんだ？誰も教えてくれない。
すまん。何を言ってるんだ？
Oh, that was sexy, but I accidentally skipped it because I'm an idiot. I thought it was done.
もっと悩んでくれってことさ。
Kawase glanced at me. I kept my mouth shut and nodded in silence. Perhaps seeing how suspicious we were acting, Minakami's eyes suddenly opened wide.
いい加減にしろ川瀬。何を玉森に吹き込んだんだ？
You think it's Kawase's fault? I mean... Okay, sure.
さあ、何を吹き込んだんだろう。考えてみてくれ。
Wait, Minakami said as he stood up. The way he was moving was like both his hands weren't tight at all. And especially Kawase, had been careless.
昔からそうだ。お前の冗談はいつも度を超えている。
Minakami is really bad.
玉森をお前の遊びに巻き込むな。
Oh, sexy though.
遊び？巻き込む？切り回してるのは俺だけだと思ってるの？一番に俺を疑うなんて、君は本当に玉森くんに甘いな。
I love this. Kawase dropped his cigarette and stubbed it out with his toe. Normally, that was something Kawase could never do. When he faced Minakami again, he accepted his anger head on.
玉森くん、もういいかな、種明かししても。
Those eyes were tinged with rage, but they were eyes that seemed to ask how he could torment this rat that bit him.
川瀬。
俺も玉森くんの原稿を読むようになったのは知ってるよね。君も読んだっていうのも、今までの何作も読ませてもらったけど、俺には君が絶賛するほどの感動は抱けなかった。それで俺も玉森くんもやっと分かったんだ。この冗長さ、この退屈さ。玉森くんの小説の面白くない理由は経験の浅さだとね。そのためには現実的な体験が必要だと思うんだ。君を監禁したのは、監禁された人の心理と行動を観察するためだ。
So sorry, Mina. Minakami was silent from beginning to end. I thought for sure he laughed again. Last time we led him on it, he helplessly joined us saying, "Ah, as long as it's for you, Tamamori." That's why I thought this confession would put all out the fires. I also thought his eyes would soften and see something like even Kawase is doing something nice for Tamamori. Be extremely moved. Minakami's expression didn't change.
縄をほどけ。
Ooh!
お前を殴る。
This was the second time I had seen Minakami's true rage.
冗談だ、みなかみ。なあ、川瀬。さあ、いい体験ができた。いいものが書けそうだ。よし、みなかみ。今度は別の体験を学ばせ。
玉森は少し黙っていてくれないか。
Ooh! Minakami was telling me to be quiet?
川瀬。この縄をほどけ。
それ以外なら何でもしてあげるけど。
なら、二度と玉森に近づくな。うせろ。
Oh god. I love this. I'm here for it.
誰に向かって口聞いてんの？
Kawase approached Minakami briskly and slapped his cheek. Oh! Bitch slap him. Minakami fell to his knees and glared sharply at Kawase.
やめてくれ、川瀬。
わざわざ俺の視界に入ってきてんのは君でしょ。そんなに玉森くんが俺色になるのが嫌かい？
自分の価値観を人に押し付けるな。
君は本当に綺麗事ばっかりだな。
Kawase said, kicking Minakami back down. Kawase already had definite cracks in his relationship with Minakami, so any reason would have been fine. I may have been the one being used.
川瀬。
He brushed my hand away and gave me a smile as if to say, now watch this. The maliciousness of it made my entire body freeze.
君は玉森くんの物語を本当に面白いと思ってる？
ああ。
残酷だね、君は。
Hmm.
どうしてつまらないものをつまらないと正直に教えてあげないの？毎回毎回こんなクソみたいなお話に喜んじゃってさ。
Gee, thanks. I get this again.
俺は君とは違う。玉森くんに才能を見出している。だからあえて厳しくしてやってるんだよ。それなのに君は。
川瀬。お前に玉森の原稿を読む資格はない。
資格？
Shikaku?
お前は人間性が欠落してる。だから人の痛みがわからない。お前がやってることはあの男と変わらない。
Him? Who? Who is this new character?
じゃあここではっきりさせようか。
Kawase grabbed Minakami's hair and lifted his face. Oh!
なあ玉森くん、本当におかしいのは俺と水上。どっ
I'm,
ちだと思う？
I mean, it's clearly you. No?
君のために正直な俺と君のために嘘つきな水上。さあどっち？
A pain expression came to Minakami's face. That face was tinged with aggravation of wanting to be released. To Minakami, this was a joke that had gone too far. To Kawase, this was the best chance to provoke Minakami. However, I was the only one who was sincerely, seriously troubled by the answer. I'm sick of your fantasies. I thought your stories were shit. I had enough. You're the one who's crazy.
みなかみがおかしい。
Kawase let go of Minakami's hair.
玉森。
お前はずっと私を憐れんでいたんだろ
何言ってるんだ。俺はそんな風にお前を。
嘘は嫌いだ。
嘘じゃない。川瀬に何を言われたんだ。
川瀬は関係ない。
それも言わされてるのか。
Kawase came up to me and whispered into my ear.
上手な演技だね。
演技じゃない。
Even Kawase's smile gradually faded.
一つ、みなかみに聞きたいことがある。 もしお前が今日死ぬとして、最後に読みたいものは何だ？
My heart. I will cry. Tamamori sounds so sad.
玉森君。
I feel so bad for him. Minakami was the only one who opened his mouth. He was dead serious.
それを知って何の意味があるんだ。玉森が俺に聞きたいことはそんなことなのか。
Dad. Dad. I couldn't help but smile when he said that. It's right. Dad, it's ridiculous, right?
当たり前すぎるよ。お前の物語に決まってるだろ。
Ah. Wow, he lied to this point, yeah. Wow. Sorry, Minakami, you're totally out, bro. Come on.
また平然と嘘をつくんだな。
I ran out of the basement.
今の何なの、玉森君。
それはこっちのセリフだ。
俺はあいつをからかってやっただけだ。でも君、演技じゃないって一体どういう。
すまん。
He grabbed my collar and pushed me against the wall.
よく私に触れられたな。
すぐに洗うさ。おかしいとは思ってたんだ。水上の監禁云々も君が持ち出したことだし。でもこうまでして君が聞きたいことってこんなくだらないこと。まだ何かあるんじゃないの？監禁続けるってそういうことだよな。今の君も結構おかしいよ。
Okashi? The one I thought was crazy was calling me crazy, then I must be completely off my rocker. That case, all of us here was crazy.
なあ川瀬、私たちは友達だよな。なのになぜいつからこんなになってしまったのだろうな。
気持ち悪いな。
That was all he could say to me, even though holding my breath was all I could do to keep from crying. There was no way he hated each other from the beginning. Right now, our bonds were flimsier than those of complete strangers. Nipashi River, Juroko Bridge, Lake Inawashiro. Without looking into his eyes, I tried muttering the names of places in our hometown.
何それ。
私がやったカブトムシに餌もやらずに飼い殺したことは？
だから何？そんなことあったっけ？
I let out a sigh. He finally let go of my collar and tapped his foot, annoyed.
本当に薄情なやつだな。
昔のことを忘れたぐらいでいちいち何なの？そんなこと覚えてる方がおかしいでしょ。
でも川瀬、それを友達というのだよ。
はあ、もう本当に狂ってるよ、君。現実と空想がごっちゃになってる。
Reality and fantasy. Fantasy. Were my memories fantasies? Because I couldn't remember them, I had no proof, other than my memories, that those days were reality.
そうか。私たちはすでにドグラマグラの中にいるのかもしれない。
ドグラマグラって夢の旧作の。
そうだ。そういうことなのだ。
I finally understood. Got it. I abandoned Kawase and rushed into the living room. I then took my place in my usual chair, then let out a boisterous laugh.
川瀬くんが呆然としているぞ。
にゃ聞いてください、春彦さん。私はついに分かったのです。私がこうして悪夢を見続ける理由が。
Haruka-san and the frogman were in front of me sipping on tea.
これは正木先生の論文、胎児の夢の中なんですよ。
正木先生というのはドグラマグラの登場人物だね。
そう。
彼が書いた論文「胎児の夢」は胎児の不思議について言及していたはずだが、
Inside the womb, fetuses change into various shapes and form, like a fish or birds until they're born as humans. Dr. Masaki thought the fetus is a pursuit of human evolutionary history, while it's a pursuit of human memories. Human evolution is a nightmare, floating, spinning, splitting, suffering. Even once it gains its peaceful and watery home, it's assaulted with agony. Its companions are annihilated right in front of it. Then once it escapes the water, it comes face to face with the claws of sea scorpions and it's chased by trilobites. What? It's the story. As soon as it escapes to the skies and is at peace, the world is shut out. It's consumed by massive earthquakes and tsunamis. Why do humans have to dream of such brutal evolution? Why can't they be born unless they do so? The main reason is the love of their mother-to-be. Humankind's ruthless evolution is continuing even now. The mother-to-be stands at the end of it, wondering if everything is ready, making the fetus dream. The fetus swings and moves its limbs around its mother because of those dreams. That is why babies are born crying. They're born crying and screaming. Of course, there are those who can't handle this nightmare. They stop breathing and are stillborn. Furthermore, humans are designed to forget their fetus dream. However, that forgetfulness is a burden. It's something frightening that makes us forget even what we had for dinner yesterday or the details of the book we read. There were people like Minakami who could remember everything, but that was some sort of a defect.
そこまで読み取るとは、いろいろとやばいな、君は。だが君はすでに人として生まれることを選び、胎児の夢など、当の昔に忘れているはずである。この現状を、まだ胎児の夢の中だというのか。
胎児の目的は人としての誕生です。そして私が何度も反復して悪夢を見させられているのは、また別の母なる存在、もしくは母なる集合意識によって友情の完成を目的に設定されているのです。きっとそうだ。そして私はやっと分かりました。こんなの友情じゃない。
I spread both my hands out.
お互いの周囲を嗅ぎ回って歯を向き合ってるくせに表でハイハイと撫れ合うこんな関係を友情とは呼ばん。
Okay, we're totally going crazy right now.
さあ、そろそろ誕生しましょう、春彦さん。
When I turned around, Kawase was leaning against the door watching me. There was a new cigarette in his hand, but the tip was burdened with ash and showed no signs of being smoked. Kawase dropped that ash startled when I flashed an overly cheerful smile at him.
さよなら、川瀬。やっぱりお前と私は友達ではなかった。
何それ。
I told Kawase my goodbye, so all that remained was Minakami. I ran out in the hallway and went down the stairs, almost sliding.
玉森君、水上君に何を伝える気だ。
縄をほどいてさよならを言うんですよ。私はついに本物の友情を見つけたんです。もう水上や川瀬など用済みだ。
What am I actually reading? I'm so confused. But at least it's good that we're finally moving on of this toxic friendship thing that's happening.
本物の友情。しかしだな、このまま水上君の監禁を解けば、彼は
死にたきゃ勝手に死ねばいい。
We're gone crazy. Either way, these were my fake friends.
水上!
Silent darkness waited for me on the other side of the door I threw open. I stepped out of reflex and Kawase was chasing after me, collided into me.
玉森君。何？
The air settled. Ugh, I smelled this scene before. It was a familiar odor. It was similar to the stench from Umebachido's basement. Kawase swiftly snatched the lamp from my hand. As soon as he carried it into the room, we knew what was the source of the stench was. Glass was sticking out of his neck.
水上。
The lamp was broken. Minakami had stabbed his own neck with a piece from it. Kawase clung to the wall as his legs gave out.
嘘。片付け。どうするの？
That's what he's concerned about. weren't us, but the Irregulars Regiment. I wonder what Gato-kun and Kudo-kun would have done if it was Toba-kun's corpse in front of them. They would probably rush over to Toba-kun, check to see if he was breathing, scream for help. But we didn't do any of that. Kawase was thinking how he would get rid of the body. I, on the other hand, ran up to the stairs as fast as I could. I snatched an umbrella and rushed out of the mansion and ran into the light rain of the town. Once I found the stop, I got in line with a nonchalant look on my face. I calmly boarded the streetcar, calmly took a seat, calmly got off at Jinbocho, and then I headed for the puddle in front of Umebachito and jumped in feet first. Once again, I was on the streetcar. What did Mimikami kill him in this story, though? Like, he didn't read Kisaku Yumeno's new story? Is it because of Tamamori? I don't know. I was the only passenger, or so I thought, but Haruhiko-san came aboard. He sat right in front of me as his heavy-looking body rocked from side to side. Huh. It was a memory from the past like it usually was.
カエル男はどうしたんですか？
君に怯えて隠れているよ。
怯える？私に？
Haruhiko-san said nothing more about it.
オラは確かに君を責めるようなことを言った。自分の心と向き合えとも言った。君は向き合ってくれたね。でも君は今、間違った方向に進もうとしている。胎児の夢で例えるなら、君は夢を断絶した水子と同じだ。
消えてください。あなたは一体誰なんですか？
オラは君の思念が見せる幻想だ。
There was a bridge called Chiroko Bridge in my rural town. It was a sturdy stone bridge. I saw a kappa there once. He was the first hallucination I ever exchanged words with. But
貴様は違う。貴様は私の幻想なんかじゃない。
I had that countless of time before.
消えろ。
Quiero. Quiero. Let me do what I want. Haruhiko-san silently lowered his eyes. 6. Well, that was something. Rain fell in drops from the gray sky. When I suddenly woke up, I was lying in front of Umebachito. I brushed off the dirt, got up, and immediately went inside the shop.
店主、ただいま戻りました。
Perhaps startled by my high spirits, the shopkeeper didn't know what to say. This wasn't a fish market. Most beautiful flies were quiet, so there was no need for a bookstore employee to be so energetic. I hid in the shadows as usual, rubbing my hands together as I waited for my return.
Tenshu, ただいま戻りました。
はい。
Without noticing me, I headed up on the second floor. I came up from behind the bookshelf, grabbed his sleeve and pulled him back, slapped his shocked face with the palm of my hand. He turned to water and vanished. I stole my glasses from his pocket and immediately put them on. Alright, that's more like it. Sometimes the screws would come loose and they'd slip down, but, well, there was also a romantic irony. Coined by the German philosopher Schlegel, is that how you read the name Schlegel? Romantic irony seems to be the theory that all geniuses need to spend their life in idleness. That's a quote from Sanshiro by Natsume Soseki. Oops, I forgot to change my fish water. That wouldn't do, so I went up to the second floor, scooped up my goldfish from the bowl. The goldfish writhed, gasping for air. I know you're suffering, but please, hang in there. I threw the dirty water out the window and tossed the goldfish in the now empty bowl. You'll have to suffer just a little longer. I felt around the near rain gutter above my head and pulled out the cork plug. As soon as I did, the rain that fell from the roof into the gutter drained into the fishbowl. Freed from gravity, the goldfish swam around peacefully. It didn't seem to have any idea of what had happened. I plunged the rain gutter back up and was filled with happiness seeing my now content goldfish. A shadow suddenly flickered beneath the fishbowl. When I moved the bowl, I saw a red umbrella looking up at me in shock.
相変わらず雑だな。
みなかみ、ちょうどよかったな。私も今帰ったところだ。
うん、ちょうどよかった。
またお前の言う通り雨が降ったぞ。おかげでほとんど濡れずに済んだ。
そうか。
どうした？なんだか元気がないな。
いや、金魚を素手で掴むなよ。
金魚屋の親父だってそうしてただろ
う。でもかわいそうだ。
そうだな。次回からは気をつける。
He then twirled his umbrella and came into the shop. Minakami unwrapped the cloth he had brought with him and pulled out some books. He took out a few books and returned them to the shelf slowly enough to make me yawn.
手伝おう。
ありがとう、玉森。こっちを頼む。
I don't understand what's happening here. All 5 books I took from him went to the bottom shelf. I bent down and put them back onto the shelf one by one. There was a long silence. Perhaps not being able to stand it any longer, Minakami finally asked.
今日、川瀬の批評もらったんだろ？どうだった？
どうだったって何が？
ああ、なんだか元気がなさそうだ。
何を言っている？私は別段元気だよ。
本当か？
Minakami had a worried look on his face. Was he trying to say that me being cheerful was all an act?
これ、お前にあげるよ。
Minakami said as he handed me the last book left in his hand. It was Kisaku Yumena's Dogrammagra.
店の商品を借りっぱなしじゃ悪いからな。読み終わったら商品として並べてくれて構わない。新作だから高値をつけてもいいんじゃないか？
ああ、それなら私ももう読んだから適当に棚に突っ込んでおいてくれ。
そうか。すまん。やっぱり持って帰るよ。
I went back to the register. He came up to me and a piece of paper came fluttering down. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was written on bold print.
狂える悪魔。再上映されるのか。
He sounds so fake though, come on.
ずっと見たがっていただろう。
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was a horror film. The main characters were named Dr. Jekyll and his other personality, Hyde. Showed at Nikatsu Theater in Kanda last spring, but I had missed the run, and now it was here. It was a motion picture Minakami would see twice in a row.
奥さんから招待券をいただいたんだ。ご婦人方は怪奇映画に興味がないそうだ。
そりゃそうだ。女子供にはわからんよ。
一緒に行こ
う。バカか貴様。私は浪人生の身だぞ。そんなものにうつつを抜かしている暇はないのだ。
どうした？熱でもあるのか？
失礼な。私はただ目覚めただけだ。貴様とつるむといいことがないとな。
ひどいこと言うな。
なんだ？そんなに私と一緒に活動に行きたいのか？
俺は何かお前に嫌われるようなことをしたか？
自分の胸に聞いてみろ。
Minakami looked surprised. He lowered his head slightly, casting a shadow over his face. He laughed only with his mouth.
そっか。
当然とはどういう意味だ？
今まですまなかった。
だから私に嘘をつこうというその自覚があるのならな。
Right after I finished bullying him, Minakami quickly threw on his mantle and left. I stood up but didn't feel like going after him. I sat back down and let a puff of air. It was a perfect, refreshing day with a light rain.
玉森くん、ちょっと散歩してくるよ。
ああ、はい。
店番お願いします。
I heard the back door open. His footsteps muffled cuffs melted into the sound of the rain. I had easily returned to my usual routine. When I happened to look forward, this guy was standing in the rain. Drops dramatically bounced off the leaf he was using as an umbrella. He seemed to be slowly thinking something over his head while he held his breath in his stomach. It was as if he had made his mind about something.
Tamamori-san! Tamamori-san! Haruhiko-san がいなくなっちゃったんですよ。助けてください。
黙れ。 お前はあの日、あの時、あの橋で殺されたのだ。
僕一人ぼっちになっちゃったんです。
それに気づかぬ愚かな異形よ。
The frogman disappeared into the rain as he cried. He left behind his bright green leaf, but even that was swept away by the wind. All of my hallucination had vanished. I immediately grabbed some manuscript paper to tackle a new story, but I couldn't put any energy into my pen and gave up in the end. I closed my eyes and lay down. When I saw that behind my eyelids once again was Minakami's profile as he read a book. When I ended up opening my eyes, I stared at the second hand of the clock. The clock on the wall informed me that it was 5. A book had been set down in front of me, so I lifted my head. Hakase was there.
こんばんは。こんばんは。
I miss you, babe.
この本ください。
What he handed me there was Flower Tales by Nobuko Yoshiya. The register opened with a ka-ching. His hand began to shake when I handed him his change.
吉谷信子、知ってますか？その方、同性愛者なんです。
は？
ごめんなさい。変な話してごめんなさい。
で？
ごめんなさい。突然こんなこと。ありがとうございました。
明日も待ってます。花物語の感想、いつか聞かせてください。
はい。
Hi! I still love him. He ran out into the rain as he let out a shriek. He looked so overjoyed at my whim, but I was pretty sure Hakase had told me he only read 10 pages a day. But if Sasa-san read it to him, it would probably be sooner. Sasa-san had given him that awful summary of that gold demon though, so Flower Tells me end up completely different too.
店主、帰ってきていますか？
ああ、ここにいるよ。
店を閉めたら風呂屋に行ってきます。
わかった。もうお客さんも来ないだろうから、店を閉めていいよ。
いえ、閉店の時間くらいは守ります。
Besides, if I didn't go past 6 o'clock, I wouldn't be able to see him. Are we trying to be friends with the Irregulars Regiment? Perhaps because of the cold, Saragucho's Kikai bathhouse was packed as usual. The old man passing by me smelled unseasonably of yuzu. Once I'd gone through the dressing room into the bath, the place was filled with nothing but old and middle-aged men. What looked like an old woman head was wobbling among them. No, wait, they were unmistakably an old man. There must be something wrong with me to make a mistake for a second and third time. Without closing my eyes, that was when I heard the whispers of the irregular regiment. Miteru? Nani? About the giant of Jimbocho. Giant? He's over 6 feet tall. Tobakun butted in this time. He doesn't use an umbrella, and he wears a funny mask. As soon as I spotted him, he vanished. He's weird looking. Is he a monster? Or a ghost? I was glad they at least seemed to be having fun. That earthquake earlier must have been from the giant's footsteps. Idiot. No, it had to be. Kato-kun had a pretty active imagination. They bounced around Naoshi-kun in the middle, singing in a loud voice for a while. When Naoshi-kun finally tried to get out of the bath, I pulled his arm.
見覚えあろ？
I whispered so only he could hear me. Naoshi-kun pushed Kudo-kun and the others back.
先に帰ってて。どうしたんですか？10秒数えるのを忘れちゃってね。ほら、湯冷めしないうちに行った。はい。
了解だ。了解です。
ではまた明日。
He trudged along in a row and laughed. Naoshi-kun let out a sigh, then submerged himself up to his nose, looking up at me.
どうして僕ってわかったの？
君が神田橋の女給に似ていたからだ。よく見れば、ほくろの場所も同じだしな。
なんだ。そっちもバレてたんだ。
本当に今日の今日まで気づかなかったよ。でも君が。
じゃあ気持ち悪かったでしょ、川瀬さんに惚れてる僕の姿。
いや、そんなことはない。君は綺麗だから。
Oh, flirting.
タマさんに褒められても嬉しくない。
When I smiled at him, he smiled back.
で、僕を引き止めて言いたいことはそれだけ？カフェで気まずくなるだけじゃない？
その通りだ。だが一つ、君に相談したいことがあったのだ。直志君にではない、メイコである君に。
Naoshi-kun and I headed home together.
君は川瀬という男を好いているようだが、少し君が奴を勘違いしていると思ってな。
え？
I knew Naoshi-kun was pretending to be obsessed with Kawase as a part of the irregular regiment, but I continued as if we were sympathizing with him.
ここだけの話。奴は人の命を何とも思わない人間性の欠落した男なのだ。例えば、人が鼻血を出せば心配するどころか汚いなぁと嘆き、人が上着を羽織れば埃が立つからあっちで着ろというような。
神経質なんだね。
うん。しかし奴の神経質はここ最近加速している。
Naoshi-kun seems to be losing interest in me insulting Kawase. However, this was where my point began.
もしかしたら奴はその潔癖症が高じてついに犯罪に手を染めてしまったかもしれない。
Are we gonna try to make Kawase into a criminal? Wow.
奴は本名を池田と言い。
待って、その前に僕も一つ打ち明けさせて。
Naoshi-kun made a serious face. I followed suit and leaned forward. Even I knew it was shameless act.
僕、別に川瀬さんのこと好きじゃないんだ。
何？
だってよく考えてよ。僕、男だし、男の人を好きになるわけないじゃん。
Oh well?
冷静に考えるとそうだな。
でしょ？ありえないでしょ。川瀬さんに近づきたい理由は他にあるんだ。
I tried to act shocked. Gas!
僕たちに協力してくれる？
Suddenly, the other three members of the irregular regiment came out from the shadows. That really did surprise me, but I nodded firmly.
俺たちに協力してくれるって言うなら。
俺たちが何なのか教えてやる。
でも、聞いてしまったら最後、仲間になってもらいます。
仲間になったら。
裏切ることは許さない。
どうする？タマさん。
So we are going to join the irregular regiment. Wow. The look in their eyes was serious. This is how boys should be.
できる限り協力する。私も川瀬のために協力してもらいたいからな。
じゃああなたは今日から不正規連隊の一員だ。
Was this what it was like to feel included among friends? An appropriate smile came to my face during this solemn moment. Ah, this song again. Oh god, my heart. Afterwards, they took me to the bookstore of Sanseido. This was where Kudokun and the others hung out.
おい、じいさん、帰ったぞ。
起こさない方がいいよ、工藤。
ああ、そうか。
天使は奥にいるのか？
はい、僕たちの店主は。
おい、キャトル。
Kataru! Kudokun grabbed his shoulder and Kataru, aka Kato's. Kato-kun stopped talking.
とまあ、ここは僕たちの基地というか、曲がりしてるだけなんだけど。
ここはカフェと違って誰にも聞かれる心配はなさそうだな。
ところで本題だけど、川瀬さんが犯罪に手を染めたかもしれないってどういうこと？
それは。
Even I happened to look to my side, Kato-kun was trembling. Now she couldn't pat his head and look at me, urging me to continue.
奴はおそらく養父を殺した。殺したまでとはいかずとも奴は隠し事をしている。
やっぱり ぱりあの帝大生さんが池田さんを。
加藤君、君は池田さんを知っているのかね？
Wow, we're just really being super manipulative here. I asked with no shame again. We fled to the back of the room and I did. The Bakun immediately chased after him. The three of us, me, Nashikun, and Kudo-kun.
池田輝虎さんは2年前からこの三千堂に通う常連さんだったんだ。古地図とか建築図とかの収集家だった。加藤くんはよーく可愛がってもらってた。だけど2ヶ月前パタリと現れなくなっちゃって。
池田さんは腰を悪くして鎌倉へ療養に行ったと川瀬から聞いた。
タマさんもそれが怪しいってことぐらい見抜いてるんだよね。
ああ。
加藤くんは池田さんの家の建築図を見たことがある。だからこの前池田さんの家を覗きに行ったんだ。
What? So these guys knew where Ikeda Manor was located even without asking me?
そうしたら不自然に井戸が埋め立てられていた。それと思わしき業者に問い合わせてみたら2ヶ月前に工事したって回答をもらった。
Everything they'd done was detective work. The irregular regiment was a lot more active than I thought.
池田邸に侵入して確かめたいことはたくさんあるけど、使用人がいるんじゃ。
池田邸に使用人はいない。2ヶ月前に全員出払わせた。
How was his story? Come to think of it, I remember that even I thought that was strange. When Kawase had lived together with Ikeda-san, there was 2 male servants. They seemed to do manual labor and gave off the impression that they were forced to wear their uniforms. However, once Ikeda-san was gone, those servants left too. I figured they must have been Ikeda-san's personal servant, but Kawase didn't hire any new ones. Kawase was a capable guy, but it wasn't like he could do everything on his own. That became abundantly clear when I remembered the onigiri he made. He could do laundry and clean, but he must be most unwilling on the inside. Why wouldn't he let people near his home?
そうか。じゃあ川瀬さんの留守を見計らえばすぐに侵入できるってわけか。ふーん。ねえタマさん。タマさんは川瀬さんが池田さんを殺した理由な。
それは。
Even though I had come this far, my words got caught in my throat.
あいつが父親に虐待されて育ったからかもしれない。
Huh? Did we just spill his tea? Oh my god, this was a secret that... No, wait, isn't it just a lie? Wait, I don't know. Let's just listen to it. Even when we first met, his face was covered in bruises. Long time ago, his face was always filthy. He was so bad that even Hanazawa hadn't recognized Kawase when they were reunited.
それだけだ。
詳しく聞かせてよ。
すまん。
I wasn't afraid of the backlash from confiding in them. It was the pangs from my conscience. I couldn't say anything, perhaps because that friend from my past had been my real friend.
じゃあさ、それ僕たちが捏造しちゃっていい？子供の頃に両親が離婚、父親に引き取られたけど虐待を受けて心が歪んじゃったみたいなさ。
捏造してどうする？
捏造っていうか辻褄を合わせるっていうか。
だからそんなことして
僕は今夜にでも新聞社にこのことを持ってこうと思ってる。養父殺しの帝大生ってね。
取り合ってくれるのか？
警察は取り合ってくれないだろうね。だけど噂好きの新聞社ならきっとこのことを記事にしようとしてくれるはずだ。だって面白いじゃん。養父を殺した美人帝大生の過去には父親からの虐待があったなんてさ。
Oh god, oh. I don't like where this is going.
君ってやつは。
Oh, little devil. I was going to say, but then I remembered I was no different.
だがそうまでしてやつを血祭りにあげたい理由は何なんだ？
池田さんっていうおじいちゃんを取られた加藤くんの恨みだ。
さすれば君たちは妖艶なる帝大生の裏を暴いた少年探偵団ってわけか。一石二鳥だな。
いいねタマさん。なかなかいい歌い文句だよ。
That was what you told me after all.
じゃあ今日からタマさんは僕たち不正規連隊の一員。隊員名はフランス語から取って。
こいつ信用できね
The one who stood up was Duke, K.A. Kuda-kun.
あんたにとっちゃ帝大生ってお友達だったんじゃねえのかよ。何にせよ、仲間を裏切るやつなんて信用できね
心配しなくていいよ、ドゥ。この人、帝大生さんの友達なんかじゃないから。
え。どういう意味っすか？
ね、タマさん。
Now she can ask as if he had seen right through me. You are really Kawase's friend. I remember what he had said to me before. You watch us. It's that waitress Meiko. He knew about my pandering to Kawase better than anyone else. Right, this wasn't betraying a friend. I was spreading my wings and flying towards new friends. Kudokun still didn't seem satisfied, but he disappeared into the bag without complaining.
おやすみ、ドゥ。
おやすみ、アンさん。
Sam. Now she can watch Kudokun with a fleeting look.
さあ、僕はお茶の水の新聞社にでも行ってこようかな。
私も帰る。
暇なら僕を水道橋まで送ってくれる？
Cute. I thought for sure Naoshikun would be happy. Kawase's flaws were like the stairs to his success. However, his profile was surprisingly anxious.
タマさんはルイコーのアー無常ってお話知ってる？
もちろん。
元はレ・ミゼラブルっていうフランスの小説が原案なんだ。
Ooh, you read such a rated story then.
そちらは見ていないな。
だよね。タマさんってばフランス語なんかわかんないだろうし。
君にもわかるとは思えないが。
実は僕もわからない。読んだのはルイコーのやつだけ。その中で僕はね、サブローが好きなんだ。原案での名前はガブローシュ。
Gavroche.
彼は素直で明るくて、いたずら好きの困った少年だ。親に捨てられても彼はずっと明るかった。
Saburo was a young man who lived in the city of Paris like a wild bird. He sort of reminded me of Naoshikun in a way.
でもね、彼が明るくいられたのは孤独を寂しいことだと分かっていなかったからなんだよ。彼は誰にでも優しかった。自分より小さな子には特にね。不思議だよね。愛情を知らないのに人を愛せるなんてさ。愛されたいと思うばかりで愛そうとする人なんていないのに。
直し君。
だから僕はガブローシュになろうと思った。
Saburo dies partway throughout the story during the June riots. He dies being shot by a bullet first to his stomach, then a second one between his brows. Moriyasu embraces him. No one could protect that life.
工藤君たちは孤児なんだ。
え？
三千堂は孤児院みたいなもんでさ。でも店主は今病で伏せてる。雨の日は店を閉めるから外で募金も募ってるんだよ。どっちが養ってるかわからないよね。
Now that he mentioned it, I seen them on a street corner. Thought for sure they were snooping around for anyone suspicious.
工藤君は白山通りで靴磨きもしてるし、ある子は朝から晩まで映画館で働いてる。
Oh, it is the camera guy. I knew it.
彼らはたくましいよ。そのたくましさをもっと世に知ってもらうべきなんだ。
Naoshikun said, suddenly smiling his usual smile.
勇敢なる少年探偵団。そう認めてもらえれば、彼らを引き取りたいって言ってくれる人が出てくるはず。だから正直、誰でもいいんだ。血祭りにあげるのは川瀬さんじゃなくても。僕たちを英雄にしてくれるなら、誰でもいい。
He muttered with a somewhat fleeting expression. When we arrive at Sweeto Bridge, now she can push my chest with a thud.
それじゃあね、タマさん。このこと、ドゥたちには内緒にしてね。奴らは結構今の生活が好きみたいだけど、先のことは考えてないようだからさ。おやすみなさい。
おやすみ。
His umbrella grew distant. The last moment he only turned around once to give me a mature smile. Gavroche. His aspiration. I wondered if he had read such cruelty when I was young. I've grown up a little more upright. I wouldn't say now she's grown upright, but sure. I didn't know. I just almost painfully understood that there were things that should be written. All stories were guides that pointed down the paths to hopes and dreams. I'll kill someone like him. I dug my fingernails into the healing marks on my right hand. By the time I got back to the second floor of Mibachito, I had completely cooled down from my bath. I covered my shoulder with my futon and faced my manuscript paper. Then instead of continuing the phantom in the basement, I concentrated on writing a story about the frogman and the used bookstore owner. It's not dripped down. It's cold, I muttered, but no one replied. All alone, I once again brought my face close to the manuscript. It had been raining since morning that day. I was going to give my goldfish his food, but as usual he was facing away. No, he was looking towards the gates of the underworld. He must have been aware of his own lifespan. I brought my hands together in prayer ahead of time. I didn't feed him. Afterwards, I opened the shop, revised my manuscript next to the register like I usually did. For a while, I heard the shopkeeper's breathing as he slept. But once noon rolled around, I finally heard the sound of a futon being folded.
店主、おはようございます。
おはようございます。
おはよう、玉森くん。朝からご苦労様です。今日も体調が良いので少し散歩してきます。留守をお願いしますよ。
それといえ、何でもありません。
浮かないようだね。
風邪をひいたかもしれないんです。明日からしばらく休んでもいいですか？
構わないよ。君の体調が優先だ。今日も暖かくして寝なさい。
すみません。すみません。本当に役立たずで。
君は何か不思議な体験をしたようだね。きっとそれは熱が原因だ。眠れば良くなるよ。
店主。
解雇なんてしないから。ずっとここにいて体を大事にしなさい。
はい。
The shopkeeper nodded in relief, then seemed to open the back door and leave. I rested my hand again against the soji and closed my eyes tightly.
そこで何してるの？
川瀬、来てたのか？驚かすな。
障子に話しかけるなんて、君もとうとう末期だね。
店主だ。店主に話しかけていたのだ。
姿を見せない不思議な店主。ね。本当にいるなら会わせてほしいよ。
So we're meeting Kawase now, we just accuse him of crime, murder, to be fact. He said. Without asking, he snatched a manuscript next to the register and began to slowly walk around the shop, although he read each page without discarding them. He immediately stopped and turned around when he was done.
何これ？また新しいお話？これって、俺のことか？俺とあいつのことだろう。
Who was he? We still have not found this mystery. Who is this guy? What was this? I had wondered about those things up until now. But I was no longer my former self. If Tamamori is gonna give us a cliffhanger and he won't ask, I'll be pissed. Is this about me? Is this about me? After encountering several Kawase, I finally remembered.
その通りだ。このカエル男はお前の父親のことだ。
はぁ？ The frogman was suddenly standing right beside me. When I glanced at him, he shook nervously.
何のつもり？
私はそれをお前以外に見せる気はない。お前の言う通り私にはそういうところがある。現実と空想がごっちゃになる。忘れていた過去を書き出してしまうこともある。
君。
だからこの物語を書いていて思い出したのだ。
Long time ago in the country, I saw Kawase drop a frog from a bridge. He's so cute. But he's so thin, Jesus. The frog knocked around by the harsh and wind and rain and had fallen quietly, soundlessly into the river and floated away. I thought it died. I thought he killed it, even though frogs are amphibious, whatever. For some reason, even though there was no way it could have died, I thought the frog was dead.
カエルは最初から死んでいたのだ。
It was a stormy night. Without an umbrella and soaking wet, Kawase had come to wake me up. He seemed excited. Come with me. I ran to Kawase's house like he told me. In the middle of the room was Kawase's father sleeping naked. Help me carry this. To where? To the top of the bridge. But here, take the right leg. I guessed at how cold that right leg was and looked at Kawase out of reflex. Kawase wasn't smiling at all. He said nothing to me as I stood there paralyzed. Then he carried his father outside by himself. Afterwards, he used a rope and tree branches to get him onto the cart with ease. Even though he didn't seem to need me at all, I was kind of glad he told me to come with him. Even when we arrived at the bridge, Kawase did everything on his own. He put his father's legs against the rail, crawled under his back, and stretched himself out to hoist him over. He fell into the river. Kawase then looked at me and finally smiled. We accomplished something huge together. I was glad.
嵐が去った朝、水門に死体が引っかかってた。
What the fuck? You know what? I predicted since episode 2. Bring up the title of episode 2. Bro. You know what? I'm gonna leave this episode here because everybody needs to sit down after that. Like, what? The actual F. Well, I got nothing to say. I hope this episode was fine. I saw a few glitches, but I tried to fix it along the way, so I hope it's not that bad. But other than that, I guess I'll see you guys next week, cause bro. This episode is longer than usual because of the glitches. I decided to take a rest and not re-record, and then record again after a while. So yeah, it's a bit longer than usual. But yeah, wow. Hope you guys have a great day. Don't kill people. Bye!